The experiment is now live. Hello and welcome. My name is Scott Ranieri, and this is The Experiment. I am your host, founder, and guide to the lovely podcast that you're listening to. Simply put, this show is an odd man's take on an already strange world. And this is the first episode. Woo! This time around, I brought in an old roommate and friend, rapper Majorino. He has his music out on multiple platforms, including Spotify, Apple Music and iTunes, and SoundCloud. So you should be checking him out. And we talked about romanticizing the struggle, weed, the community of artists that we surround ourselves with, and the love and hate for L.A. Love for the network and collaboration abilities, and hatred for the price and gentrification. We really get into some stuff. We meander a bit around. It's pretty all right. It's the first episode, so why not? And the odd man's rant. What that is very simple. It's just me ranting for 20 to 30 minutes or less about, say, something that just either irks me or interests me very much. In this case, why are you going to shoot something in Los Angeles, set it in Los Angeles, say like a movie or TV show, and then you make it another part of the neighborhood that it's not in Los Angeles? Koreatown is not downtown Los Angeles. That doesn't work. And I'm sorry, Captain Marvel. I did enjoy your movie. I didn't hate it. But one thing I will never forgive, the green line does not go underground. Does not. Sorry, doesn't. Wrote it too many times to say otherwise. And then once all of that's wrapped up, at the very end, I might give you a sneak peek of what's coming up in later episodes and other things. So, yeah, cheers. My name is Scott Ranieri, and you're listening to The Experiment. Stick around. So, today, I am here with an old friend and former roommate of mine from the Art Institute days. Yeah. I know him as Greg, but a lot of you have probably known him if you follow me on Instagram as Majorino, which I'm out on Majorino Mondays. So we're here. He's a musician, artist, and of course, lovely connoisseur of the beloved marijuana.
True. What's going on?
Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to the truth, I really did want to interview, and I felt like this makes sense to have you as my first interview because to be honest, a lot of what the experiment is really going to be with these interviews, in a sense, is to also tread back on the people who I've kind of met along the way that's brought me to the point where I have now decided let's go to the podcast.
Right.
Let's go do this, but also give them a chance to have a platform. Speak their mind and their truth, and get and provide a little bit more of a perspective, a dimension of them that hasn't been seen in, I guess, other platforms or in other mediums, so to speak, such as stuff outside of social media, because social media itself can be a bit toxic at times with enough time spent into it or whatever. Like one of my accounts, I only have I keep it set on a personal account so I can see how much time I spend on that one. Mm. But of course, that's also the one where I shitpost and everything. By the way, if you're hearing any inhaling sounds and whatnot, it's because he is currently consuming some good old-fashioned cannabis.
Yeah, you want to try to pack it up, or
yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll pack it up.
Word. Yeah, man.
But
so it's cool to be on the podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
The first episode, I'm sure it'll be a little all over the place, but it's fine.
Yeah.
First one, we're good.
Yeah, this is like the. Yeah, it's
we're
like
boys, so I'm your practice run.
Pretty much.
It's fun.
I would call it a practice run. I've already had some practice runs beforehand in other places.
My bad. It's the pilot. That's what I meant to say. A different P word. This is
pilot.
The pilot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
This is our pilot.
This is totally the pilot.
We'll see if people pick it up. This is your pilot.
I don't see why not. People have been begging me to do this for I don't know how the fuck long now.
Nice.
Maybe a few years. Hey, Scott, you have a podcast. But yeah, why don't you give the lovely people the insight on, I guess, how we came, how we met, in AI and shit.
Oh yeah, man, we met in 2010, almost 10 years ago. Crazy.
Fuck.
Yeah, man, in 2010 I came to L.A. You had came to L.A. 3 months or 4 months before that or something like that?
Yeah, I came it was in the July quarter. They had quarter step semesters back then.
So yeah, I came up there and they put me, I ended up doing student housing, and that's how we met.
The apartment complex?
Yeah, we were living with 2 other guys. And then your roommate left, and you had your own room, and then we ended up moving to a different apartment they put us in.
Oh, yeah, yeah. What had happened was, like, for that, I remember that. My roommate left because he moved in with his girl from Brazil. Spain. She was from Spain. And your roommate left because he moved in with somebody else in another apartment complex.
Right. And then we moved out.
And then for like
they moved us out.
Yeah, they moved us out.
Yeah.
We were solid for a good minute. We
were in there solo for like a month or 2.
Yeah, it was pretty lit.
Yeah. So, we went to that other apartment with Ethan and Bryant, and then lived there for like a year almost. Mm-hmm. Probably like a year. And then I ended up going to, I think you ended up moving out of student housing at that point.
I did. I got my apartment.
Yeah, you got your apartment, and I ended up moving into a different apartment in student housing for like a little bit, but that was weak. What's up?
Ain't rocking empty this?
Oh, yeah. Right in here.
All right, cool.
But yeah, that's how that happened. And we just been doing, different shoots and shit here and there over the years, trying to
just been grinding,
make it big in LA like everyone else, make it big in the world, I guess.
Just trying to make it.
Yeah, just trying to make it. We're getting old out here, but we're still at it, man. Don't sleep on us.
Nope.
I sound sleepy. I'm high as shit, but I'm also actually sleepy.
Oh, yeah,
but it's fine.
Yeah, so I'm trying to. So we were talking about earlier, like you tried to, like I told him, like, hey, I wanted an interview for my podcast. And you're like, yes, let's do it. And then you just gave me like, wait, you want to interview me today?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I was like, god damn.
Yeah, I forgot we were gonna do this today. I'm not gonna lie, but it's fun. We're here, and we're doing it.
Fuck yeah, we are.
Yeah, I've been trying to, get out to LA more. I'm living in La Habra now, so like.
Yeah, we're recording this at.
We're in La Habra. Yeah. Live at the spot. I definitely miss living in LA though. I'll for sure say that. But I mean, not like I don't miss the traffic. And I don't miss fucking the dirtiness of the city, but I miss the city itself, if that makes sense.
No, I feel that. You miss the vibes of the city.
Yeah.
You'll miss the bullshit it comes with.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't miss the traffic. The traffic and the dirtiness. And I mean, the homeless people, I'm not gonna lie, like, I get it. I get being homeless. I slept in my car in LA for a while, but, like, you know what I mean when I say homeless, like, the crazy, like, dirty homeless that try to, those. I don't miss.
You want the people who've kind of been out there a little bit.
Yeah, they've been there a little too long. They've cooked in that shit. Yeah, I feel sorry for them, but I don't miss that shit. So, but yeah, out here, man. Doing our thing.
For sure.
So what's going on? You got any? What do you want to talk about, man?
Yeah, we recently did a shoot that I posted on my photography Instagram. Yeah, we did the Downtown L.A.
Right. Yeah.
Shoot.
Took some pics, some shit for promo. Yeah, man. I'm just trying to do more stuff like that. To just have material to put out with the music I'm trying to put out.
Yeah, because you've been doing
have people shoot, see shit.
Right, because you did like YouTube. Yeah, you had like stuff on YouTube and Instagram about you did covers for shit.
I have a YouTube channel, same name, Majorino. And I'm just doing covers, right now. For now, I'm just doing covers up until we start, like, shooting videos and stuff, because I plan on putting more, like, actual videos on that page. But right now, I'm just doing, like, YouTube covers and shit while I put out, like, original music on. I just put out a SoundCloud album in June, and it did all right numbers.
Oh, Synthesizer, right?
Yeah, Synthesizer. I put that out.
Yeah, fuck with that. It's a good album. Go download that. It's still on SoundCloud. Go get that shit.
Yeah, that was cool. I did that. Only thing is, really missing right now is getting these shows. I'm trying to like start linking up with some people and doing some performances. I haven't done any performances in a while, but other than that, yeah, man, I got some new stuff planned for Spotify. I mean, I got shit on Spotify too. I only got like 2 or 3 songs on Spotify, but
yeah,
I got stuff on Spotify, Apple Music. Everybody's got everybody's
get all the platforms.
Yeah, just hitting all the platforms, trying to make shit happen. I got some other stuff coming, and aside from the projects me and you were working on. So it's just,
right.
Just trying to grind, just trying to put shit out, just same shit we're doing,
Me and you've been grinding for like quite some time, collaborating on shit. Like it's kind of funny because we've been trying to, because part of that is really on me because my ass is all over the place. Because I moved back to Pittsburgh for a couple of years.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we actually ever really did anything together till like 2014 or 15 maybe.
And then after that, we kind of like
After that, we've been doing stuff, but like like the first 4 years we knew each other, we didn't really work together. Actually, this was funny.
I think it's because
or no, I won't say first 4. I'll say first 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Because 2014, before you left, we shot that video.
I left in 2015.
But I think it was 2014. We shot that video downtown. Remember on the roof and
that was.
Was that 15? That was 14, right?
We shot that in 14. I left in 15. But I left in 15.
Yeah. So I guess that was the first thing we really did together. Well, I think the first shit we ever did was 2014. I think
we did earlier stuff because we did other stuff with this is you and Dom.
Excuse me. Oh yeah.
We shot on the subway. Yeah, we shot on the
Right. I remember that now. So that was 2013 then. So the first time we did stuff was 2013. So that was 13. 12. I remember we were both just doing more school shit. And I did a video with Ethan.
Oh yeah. For those who did not go to the art institutes, they have this weird thing where you have to take a certain number of credits to be considered a full-time student, and it was a pain in the ass because you had it was like 4 classes.
Yeah.
4 4-hour classes. It was like an hour break in between them.
Yeah.
And there was like morning, afternoon, and night. So it was like an 8 a.m. or back to it was a 7 a.m. classes.
Yeah, 7 a.m.
7 a.m. and then a 1 p.m.
Didn't they even have? They had some that started at 9 too. That were only 2-hour classes.
Right. Hella late evening classes. Yeah, I had a screenwriting.
Well, no, I mean like 9. There was something that like 9 a.m. to.
Oh yeah, I had one of those.
Yeah,
I was at I did a film history class. They did that from 9 to 2. They did that from 9 to.
They had some that were like from 4 to 8
11.
or 12 to 4. Yeah. Yeah. We were both taking the fucking shuttle.
Yep, we were.
Yeah, man. That was my early days in L.A. before I had a car. But yeah, fucking Los Angeles, man. Yeah, it's funny. Met a lot of people out there. A lot of people that do music and shit. I still talk to a handful of them. Because everybody out here is trying to make music or do our thing, which
everybody's trying to make art.
I respect it because there's a lot of fucking talented, artistic people, Can't fault them for trying to fucking, follow that. But it definitely makes it a little harder. You just got to grind a little harder. So we're realizing that now in our almost old age, in our young old age.
It's weird. We're that nice little middle ground between we're not
young,
too old, but we're not too young either.
Yeah, we're old, but we're not old, and we're young, but we're not young.
I think what's aging us. What's really aging us. It's really the fact that we're having to grind harder than we ever had because of fucking gentrification and shit. Because gentrification, because of the fact that people aren't. Because the city has to be forced to bump up the minimum wage.
Yeah, well, I mean, L.A. is just always.
And they're dragging their feet about it. Yeah. I feel like it's gotten worse over time.
Well, not only is it California, but it's Los Angeles. It's just gonna be fucking expensive.
Yeah,
it's gonna be. That's why motherfuckers literally are living in their cars right as we speak.
Right. I live
I did that shit for a while.
I'm staying with some friends. I don't have a particular room.
Everybody out there staying with some friends.
Yeah.
The only people that aren't staying with friends are the people that make good money. Like I can name. I know 3 people in L.A. that have their own place and they have good jobs, all of them. That's yeah.
I know. Yeah, I name I can name a few people. And stuff like that. It's ridiculous. It is insane.
Yeah.
I work in Westwood. My job. My typical office job is actually in Westwood. So it's right there. I just have to go through the 405. There's only 2 ways I can go down there. The 405 or Sepulveda, both of which are.
They're both trash.
For lack of a better word, fucked.
They're both trash. Yeah, for sure.
Straight up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't miss that aspect of LA, but it's just there's something just about being out there makes you want to work harder and shit. Like that's not an excuse or anything to make up for the fact that I haven't been putting out as much as I'd like to, but being in that environment definitely helps motivate you. I think that's what I miss most about LA.
It's the
just the fucking.
It's the community of what you consider the struggle. I guess because I don't like romanticizing the struggle.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
But that's kind of what it is in a fucking twisted way. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You're just you're grinding yourself.
This shit is so hard and I'm struggling so much, but I kind of like it. Like what?
it's this weird.
Like, you don't like it, but you do. Like, when you're
you love the competition.
Yeah. Not even the competition of it necessarily, but I'd say just, you know, the drive that everybody has, you know, that the societal motivation that everyone has there. Yeah, it's real different. Real different.
Definitely is. If anything, I feel like it's a. How do I put this? I feel like it's, if anything, it's something that we feel like we all could do this together, and then at the same time we're all trying to do it for ourselves.
Yeah, the thing about that shit is that the whole everybody's trying to do it is that there's a lot of people out there that really don't give a fuck about helping anyone else. They just want to do it. So it's like that's one of the things that I will say has put me in the position that I'm in, helped put me, because obviously we make our own choices, you know, I'm not blaming anything, but
of course we're human. Like,
working with other people that weren't really about it when they said they were, and they were just for themselves or whatever, that definitely is like prolonged shit.
They weren't really about it. They weren't really about it. They didn't get it. They didn't want to get it. Yeah. They felt their time was more valuable.
Yeah, I've met a few of those guys. You remember that fucking guy, Jan? Remember Jan?
Oh, Jan.
Yeah, Jan was the worst. So if he hears this, I'm pretty sure he won't, but if he does, he was the worst.
I like how you're just like, yeah, all right, don't just throw him under the bus.
Oh, no, it's not even a throw. He was the fucking worst. Like, he put 3 other people in a terrible fucking situation because of his selfishness, so fuck that guy.
Okay, you know what?
He's what led to me being homeless, in a sense. You know, like, fuck that guy.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was living in that Venice apartment at the time, and he, like, started fucking not paying rent for, like, 2 months in a row, like.
Okay, alright.
In some nice-ass apartment complex. Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah, he was like, so fuck that guy.
I can't.
And we were, like, making music and shit, too. Like, I wasted time making music with that fucking guy and all this shit. Like, that guy. That's one of the guys on my list who was a waste of time. And I'm not going to go through the list. That's just an example. Like,
that was like, it's like, look, this is a prime example.
This is just a prime example of, like, people have, like, fucking. I wasted a lot of time recording with him and think, like, he was trying to, like, we did photo shoots and shit. Like,
those really, like, he's just doing it for himself.
Yeah, he was just doing it because it was fun and, like, oh, this is cool. We're taking pics. We're making songs. Like, he didn't really want to do the shit. Like, he just, like, the idea of it was just cool to him, I think, so.
Like, oh, this is Instagram worthy.
Yeah, like, so, fuck that guy. But either way, there's still a lot of good people out there. I've met a lot of good people through this music stuff, so it's cool.
Oh, it's definitely dope.
Yeah.
I mean, how I've progressed is because of how many people I've met through photography and through comedy in the last, just, like, year of doing it.
Yeah. Networking is always fun.
Yeah,
especially when the people are actually into what they do and they're not just doing it, you know.
Right. I help out on another podcast called Two Hoosiers in L.A. And that's 2 in L.A. and an Instagram.
Nice.
I work as their technical advisor. And they were like, Scott, can you help us people start a podcast? And I'm just like, I got 2 very beautiful women from Indiana asking me to go help them start a podcast. In my brain, I'm thinking, this is a thumbs up. This is all forms of a thumbs up.
Man, I feel like
at least based on my uncle's reaction.
I feel like at this point, bro, like all the time we've put into this shit, and we're not where we want to be. Just work with everybody you can. Like, just network, get your fucking name out there, let people know. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, just a quick brief note. Yeah, if you hear a dog, that's
this fucking crazy spaz dog my roommate has. He's a little spaz, but anyway,
it's adorable. Adorable spaz, but. Yeah, I get it. Work with whoever and however you can.
Yeah, just like at this point, word of mouth, man. Like, because obviously everything's on Instagram and shit, but like word of mouth is still directly connected to that because people are gonna say, yeah, you heard about this person, here's their Instagram. That's word of mouth still. So
right, people are still doing that. They do.
Check out their Instagram, check out their Twitter, blah blah blah.
Yeah, it still works for films. Yeah. It still works for television. It
works for everything. Yeah.
Word of mouth, even though it's on social media, it's still the exact same thing. It's just, how do I put this? It's just done with way more arrogance.
Right. So,
but yeah, it's dope. But yeah, that's pretty dope. I feel like, but yeah, it's been pretty dope working on their podcast.
Right.
To LA, and it was funny because they wanted to start it, but then they had no idea of the technical aspects of it. So I was just like. I feel like they'll hate me for saying this, but I'm seeing them again for recording this right now not literally near the last day. Well, the last day of August right now.
Yeah, we are. It's August 31st. We should have said that at the beginning, I guess, or?
Nah, don't worry about it. This will already have a recorded date on file. We'll cut this bit out.
But yeah.
Who cares? Who cares? I'm just throwing this out there.
Fucking, yeah, Los Angeles. We're out here. We're still doing shit. I'm hoping we got some more videos that we're planning. I'm hoping we can get one shot this month, at least one, and then get something rolling, get it out there.
So I'm trying to plan on I'm going to the I have a little personal thing going on near the end of the month.
Right.
But for the first at least the first 3 weeks, when this episode will drop, and then I also got I'm trying to do a few photography sessions for Downtown L.A. and trying to figure out how to coordinate all that. And then we're definitely going to do our shoot one of those weekends as well.
Word, yeah, I'm cool. I'm with that.
So that's all. So yeah, so all that I'm dropping. Also,
my birthday's in like 2 weeks, my 27th.
Oh, legit. Mine is like the month. It's like the month after. It was a month and 2 days after. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. 29th. Got a buddy coming to visit me and everything. It's gonna be fun.
Word.
Friend Eli, 15 years. Known that dude. He's known me like back in the days of living in Pittsburgh. So yeah, this is gonna be Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, for clarification. But yeah,
right.
Well, the clarification here for the listeners.
Right, nobody else knows. Right. No, I wasn't saying. I know. I get what you meant. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, man, fucking,
it's been a trip.
It's been a long time coming, yeah, since the whole AI days and stuff like that, man.
Let me look at this. Oh, cool.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
No, I mean, just like doing this and like actually like putting in the time that we need. Like, I mean, I feel like at this point we both probably have done 10,000, and we've got our 10,000 hours.
I feel like I can agree.
I was thinking like 4 years ago, like, do I have 10,000 hours? At this point, I have fucking 10,000.
You feel that way, like I've done this.
Like, I know that we both have what it takes to like excel at what we're doing. We just gotta get in the right avenues, the right lanes.
We gotta put ourselves in the right environments.
It seems like you're doing a good job with that, man. You're doing better with me than that right now. So
really, I feel like I'm not.
It's because you're in the city, bro. You're just working with a lot of different people. You know, you're doing the comedy shows and you're doing photo shoots for other people, which is dope, man. Keep working, you know. The only thing I've been doing recently, like I've recorded some shit, like here and there, put out some music here and there, but I haven't really been vocal about my music. Like I know I actually need to do some shit like this, like some more personal stuff, you know, so people, I guess, get my persona or fucking understand me or whatever.
That's profile out there.
Yeah. So, you know, it's good to do shit like this, man.
This is part of the reason I wanted to do the podcast, because real talk, I've always wanted to do. This is my thing. I've always felt like a lot that I've only been afforded. At times, I feel like the things that happen to me, it's magic.
Right. I can see that.
There are some things, like, I'm not a big fan of coincidental things. In some cases, you can
back it up.
Yeah.
Put a little more weed in here. You gonna smoke weed with everybody, or probably just me?
Or
a couple other people?
It depends on the guest, to be honest. It always depends on the guest.
Yeah, man. See, this is the pilot, you know? This is just the pilot. And it's okay that we talk about it, you know? We can break that wall, the fourth wall.
Well, it's not just the fourth wall. We're just breaking the barriers and just dismissing the taboos of, you know. What I'm trying to do is get the most comfortable interview out of people, so that they're much more open. It allows them to be much more open and honest about themselves.
Right. I'm gonna just pick a little bit of that. That's
it. Here you
go. Yeah, man. I feel that fully. This is real lemony. What is this?
This is
This is sativa, huh?
Yes, it's 24K.
Ooh.
And
this
actually, no.
I'm
sorry.
Or is it indica?
It's indica dump. I'm so sorry.
This smells like a sativa. It's a hybrid though, so there is some sativa in it.
There's some sativa, but it's an indica.
Damn, it smells like grapefruit, bro. This legit smells like grapefruit. That's crazy.
Serious?
That like smells like just like a grapefruit.
That's
citrus.
Wild. It does have that citrus.
Yeah, that literally smells like grapefruit.
Yeah, we're inhaling weed. We're smelling weed nuggets right now. It's pretty fun.
That's some pretty good stuff. Mine is cool. Mine's some cool. You know, I got some cool. Got some little flame. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, man. No, Oh, she. Hold up. Don't worry about it.
All right then.
Yeah. It's all good.
Sorry. That's why I was like, but make sure there's somebody hear the phone. Or did it interrupt?
No, that's fine.
Oh, I thought it was still. Yeah, I figured it was still gone.
Resume. Yeah. Okay. I think it cut out for a sec, but we're good.
All right. In that case, thank you. So,
Sorry about
so
that.
it's not like
I was getting the call. Yeah.
Got getting blown up.
Yeah.
Get blown up. But yeah, let me think. So yeah, I mean we've been. Oh, right now I'm blown up.
You in the call now?
No. This stupid thing is putting this thing on silent. I am so tired of that. See, this is the first episode. This is how we work out everything I need to do to get.
You can even leave some of this shit in there. Probably not the dead air, I guess, but some of this shit can probably get left.
Yeah, we can leave a lot of this. To be honest, it's pretty fun.
I'm gonna tell her to get some tequila. She was seeing if I want anything from the store, so she just got back. Right. But anyway, so. Yeah.
The fun. Yeah, it's been pretty. It has been hella interesting because.
Man.
I mean, I've seen other places in this country and being around there because I've been, been around the place for a while. I gotta say, it's been a wild trip.
Right.
As of yet, I mean, I'm about to turn 28.
Yeah, I'll be 27 in a couple weeks, man. So I feel it. We're getting up there, but we're like in the prime. This is literally like the prime, where we can. I feel like there's like from here, there's like a 5 to 10 year gap of us being like in our greatest artistic space.
Dude, I'm already feeling like I'm about to hit this with that's how I feel about this podcast and,
and
the photos we dropped in September. Yeah, let me take that.
Yeah, so I feel like this is the time to really get it, man. I mean, I got a lot of shit I'm working on. You got a lot of shit you're obviously working on. Like, it's a good time to just be working on stuff,
Yeah, like by this time, I'm probably, I'm definitely going to be announcing more comedy shows in the future. I'm definitely going to be doing I'm going to have podcasts. I'm going to have this is a bi-weekly podcast, so this is going to be every couple of months that happens. And it's going to be a trip. And
who knows, man? Maybe one day it'll evolve into a podcast / vlog, man. You get big enough, people will want to see you do this shit.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's the natural progression. You start putting this stuff out a little bit more regularly, on my schedule and stuff like that, and on my terms as well.
Right, of course, yeah.
And
it's dope. It's just cool because it's a good opportunity for a lot of shit to happen.
Yeah, see that, and that's what I said. As I was trying to say way back before we got extremely super tangential.
Yeah.
Real as hell, but tangential. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
All right.
I'm always good. Yeah, man.
The reason I started this podcast is because I wanted to put more people out there and stuff,
right?
And talk about get them to talk about stuff and motivate others. As I was taking the Uber over here, I had talked with this guy. Shout out to Sean, the Uber driver.
Right.
You actually got me that literally got me to
I didn't even know how you got in the gate.
The door the gate just opened back up.
Nice, good shit.
In we go.
Yeah. I was surprised you still had the address. You saved it or what?
No, it's text message.
Oh, okay, word.
Yeah, just go back up. Boop, right there.
That was like a year ago.
Yeah, I know.
Nice.
I was like, it still has that SIM card. That SIM card though.
Oh yeah, you got a new phone, but the same SIM card, right?
Yeah. Well, no, not from AT&T.
Oh, okay.
I started the Metro. I've had that since. I've had this for like over a year now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Word.
So I used to have AT&T. Fuck AT&T. Thank you for buying the Justice League and just. I hate you. At HBO, I hate you all. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Fuck you.
T-Mobile's like the best phone company, pretty much, bro.
And now they own Metro.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I used to have Metro actually before T-Mobile. And then they got bought out.
I had Metro for like 2 seconds. My mother, for like a family time, my mother
Yeah.
never went back.
Yeah, Metro was trash. I had Metro when I lived with you.
Oh, not Metro. She meant T-Mobile. She actually had T-Mobile.
Oh, okay.
But then she thought it was trash.
T-Mobile was lit now.
Yeah. I kind of want T-Mobile just so I can have that option because
they're lit.
It's
T-Mobile's lit now.
Because Metros, so. Ugh.
I've had T-Mobile, I think, since 2014 now, so 5 years.
I'm not gonna lie. The only reason I got Metro is because of Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah, makes
That
sense.
Amazon Prime year subscription. Game
They
over.
They got you. Makes sense.
It's just game over.
Yeah. I think I've since 2013 I've probably had 3 phones. That's not a lot. That's 6 years. Wait, I had that Metro phone.
Right.
And then after that, that's when I upgraded to T-Mobile in 2014, and then I got the LG, or no, I got the Google Nexus 5.
Oh, yeah.
I got that one, and then the fucking button got stuck on that one, the whole button, the home button, or the power button. That's when they still, like, the buttons were, like, that you had to rely on the buttons still.
Right.
So, like, the one button, like, broke, and then,
I had a friend, yeah. I had a friend who had the Google Nexus.
Yeah. I liked it up until it fucked up. Yeah, it was dope until it
just broke.
Then I got the LG Stylo. Then I got the Stylo 2 and had that like 2017. Or no, I had that from 2016, I think, to 2018.
All right.
Excuse me. And then I got the Stylo 4 last summer. So I've had this for a year now. And that's my phone history. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 phones?
I've had like maybe 4 or 5 phones in the last few.
I mean, you kind of gotta upgrade.
Yeah, eventually. I had a Sony Xperia.
I remember that one. Was that the yellow one?
No, that was a Windows phone. That was Windows phone I had after. That was trash.
Yeah, I remember you had a big fucking huge yellow phone with a giant camera on it.
It wasn't a giant camera. That time I was tiny as hell. There was another model with a giant camera.
There was something else on it that was just big as fuck. Wasn't there? There wasn't like a big camera on the back of it.
No, that was another model. I got the one. It had a slim little like a ellipsis like little camera on it. It was just like the little metal thing, because those ones were the one I wanted, but they were out of it, and they only had the other phones in yellow, and they only had the one phone in yellow. I got yellow because, of course, the Simpsons fan. I was like the Simpsons fan, and I was
the yellow phone.
Stupid as fuck.
Like, it wasn't a phone case; it was the actual phone.
Oh, it was the phone. It was yellow as fuck. I was just
wow.
I was a yellow brick. I know the Windows phone.
That was a big phone. Yeah, that shit was. This is a big phone, but I think it might have been bigger than this. Like,
yeah, what's that?
This is the Stylo 4.
LG?
Yeah, LG Stylo.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's not that huge. It's like what, the size of
this is big though. This is bigger than like the iPhone 8,
yeah.
iPhone 9. Like, this is bigger than all like most iPhones, or as big as. But like, this phone is cool. Like, I could trade this phone in, like, cause it does. No, it's got some fucked up shit going on with it. But to its defense, I think it's because I've gone in the sauna with it a bunch of times, and that's almost 200 degrees.
Right.
So like, I was like cooking the fucking phone slowly, you know, like, so it's probably a little fucked up. It's probably a little slow because of that.
That's right. I remember this. You took the sauna.
I'm always in the sauna. Yeah, I go in the
sauna.
phone.
God.
Well, it's because I'm looking at the time and shit, but yeah, that's probably fucked the phone up a little bit. But got this iPad now. Scott hates the iPad.
I'm sorry, I don't fuck with Apple as much nowadays as I used to. I was into it in the beginning, but I was like, nope.
Android and Apple, man. I got the best of both worlds. And I've had an iPhone. I've had an Android since 2009 or 2010. So, like, the first Android I ever had was a Motorola Razr.
Yeah.
No.
God, that was crazy.
Not a Razr. A Motorola. I forgot what the fuck it was, but it was like this big. Remember in the early days of smartphones were the ones that they were like they still
Sidekick?
No, it was like this type of phone. It was like this size, and it had touchscreen, but it was like a small touchscreen, and like you could like push it up still, and it had a keyboard underneath, but it was touchscreen, the phone itself. So like you would push this part up. You
push the metal part.
Yeah,
of the phone
like it was like 2 layers. Like imagine.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
And like you push
that's
the face
the same
up.
design. Yeah, that's like
it's kind of like a sidekick, but it wasn't a sidekick. It was like it was kind of like it functioned.
I know
like
the
a
phone
sidekick.
you're talking about.
It was a Motorola something. It was silver.
But those from I remember that because you could slide that up.
Yeah, you push
like
it
the
up.
Palm, like the Palm Pilot or something.
Something like that. Something like that.
I had a Palm They still made those phones. Palm still made phones up until, like, I don't know how long they got bought out. Or something.
Right.
And then, yeah.
I'm going to look this bitch up. Because, like, I want you to see exactly...
I hope I can boost up this podcast so I can have my own little technical guy like Joe Rogan does.
Fuck Joe Rogan.
Have my own JB. Well,
yeah, fuck Joe Rogan.
Why, man?
Joe Rogan's kind of a piece of shit, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just.
Sorry if you're a Joe Rogan fan, but yeah, I don't know if you want him on the podcast one day. Did I just ruin your chances? You gonna cut that out? Edits.
Look. I'm friends with people of all different backgrounds. We choose to agree to disagree. It doesn't affect our relationship or anything together.
Well, I don't know him personally, so if I could talk to him about why I say fuck him, then and we came to an agreement about it, then sure. But,
that would make sense.
Yeah, of course. I'm not above having a conversation. Look, yeah.
If there's always a chance to have a dialogue with someone,
right,
and to squash anything that might be misconstrued or miscommunicated, dope. If you just happen to disagree on something, that's as long as it's nothing extreme enough for people to get hurt.
I'm still trying to find this Android.
I noticed, yeah. As long as it's not extreme enough for anyone to get hurt, no one's gonna give a damn. Facts. See that? Yeah, that's another thing on the podcast. Right? That's all I do.
I think the podcast is gonna help in a lot of ways. To be totally honest.
Oh God.
In a lot of ways, I'm serious. Oh look, I think this is it.
Did you find it?
It was something like this. I don't think this is it exactly, but it was silver.
Oh yes, I know exactly.
You know what I mean?
Now I know exactly what you're talking about.
This is it. Is this it?
Yeah, this is a phone that it looked like like an Android that had all the buttons that you have now that are not touch possible as actual buttons.
Yeah.
And then you would slide the phone, like if you were holding it, say like how you hold your side phone, like how you hold your cell phone typically, you would turn it sideways and then you would slide it up, and then the screen would rotate to a keyboard automatically once the screen would slide up.
Yeah.
And then they had different variations of this where this phone would like swing, where the keyboard would swing out or something like that.
Right. This one just pushed up. This one was the one I had, I think. I'm not sure exactly, but either way, yeah. It was like the Motorola Z or Droid Z, some shit like that. 10Z.
This is the early days of Droid when they had those Lucasfilm copyrighted commercials for some reason.
Yeah, I remember that. That was strange.
That was super strange. I'm like, why is George Lucas funding Verizon commercials?
Yeah, I was really... I didn't understand that either.
It's like, I don't understand how this happened, but I'm guessing this is happening. And phones?
There were so many of them. Like, so many names keep popping up. But yeah, that was the phone I had. My first one. And it was a brick. That shit was so heavy.
I feel like that.
It had to have weighed 2 pounds.
See, I feel like there's always a point. This is the thing I've always wondered. I feel like there's always a point or like a rite of passage where you're gonna have to have a phone that's heavy as absolute fuck.
Yeah, that was that one.
You could just.
Whatever even happened to that phone? I don't even know what I did with that phone. Did I end up like giving it to somebody else? I don't even know. That fucking big giant ass phone. Yeah.
I feel like with my yellow phone, if I threw it at somebody, I really could have fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt that
terrible.
with a
like
couple of my phones. Yeah.
Like I could just like I could smack somebody around with my phone. Like,
yeah.
Oh fucking hell, this hurts. Oh god, it's like like that shit
had
weight.
That's how I felt about that one. Shit was heavy. Like and at the time I knew it was heavy too. You know, because like you could
feel it.
The one I had before that was an LG, and thinking of that, I've had a lot of LG phones, I guess, but it was an LG Spectre in like 2009, or Spectre, or something. It was like the second version of it, where it was like that kind of phone too, where you would push it up the keyboard.
The keyboard,
but it was like it was one of the smaller ones though that had like the part you would push up was the 1, 2, 3, 4, the numeric pad.
That's right, yeah.
So you could still do this kind of texting, but then you could
slide it up,
and then had the whole keyboard. Yeah,
right.
But the phone would still had a little screen on it, but you could like text that way.
I had only one of those kind of phones.
I had one of those. I had 2 of those.
It was made by Palm though. It was called.
I remember that. Yep, I remember the Palm. Yeah, they were kind of rounded.
Yeah, it was like a little bead. I had one of those for like the longest time. And it was okay until it wasn't.
I remember those. Yeah, all those phones were like. thinking back on it, that little Spectre or whatever the fuck phone was lit. Like
the thing was,
if I had that like
you know what's crazy? You know what's really crazy about all this? I'm not just talking about this with the Uber driver.
Yeah.
I took here. It was the fact that the Uber driver I took here. I have such terrible English. This will definitely improve that.
The Uber you took here. The driver
the Uber,
you
was talking with the driver.
Your driver, right?
In the Uber. And we were talking about the fact that there hasn't been like any serious quality made in this country. There hasn't been any quality made tech in this country, or much of anything in the last 10, 15 years, to be honest.
Yeah.
You kind of saw that these things were no longer built to last.
Yeah.
Like as much as I'm sure you enjoy your iPod and I enjoy shitting on it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer.
The thing is about the iPad is, I know this shit is gonna be outdated in like a year. 2 years.
It's not that it's outdated. It breaks.
The hardware. Oh yeah, well that too. But that's why they want me to get the Apple Care for $3 a month.
Exactly.
So I'm thinking about it. I still have 33 days to decide. So we'll see.
Otherwise, it breaks around the time you get.
I know. I'm sure it's gonna break as soon as the fucking Apple Care is like. As soon as the offer is up, it's probably gonna break, and I'm gonna be like, fuck. So yeah, I'm probably gonna end up getting that. But I feel you. That's the same with everything though. Like you think about, you buy a TV, the shit's outdated in 3 months. You know what I mean? Like
it's not that it's outdated. Here's the thing.
Well, just in terms of like the market, you know what I mean? Like you can't resell it for that price or close to it at all.
Well, that's fine. Yeah. You know what? There's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. I mean, I can understand that. Yeah. You oversaturate the market. Eventually, the value.
Right.
The value's gonna
That's what I'm saying. The market is way oversaturated for all this shit. Like, you can get an iPad for cheap.
You can.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I'm talking about. The older iPads and everything, they were built more to last you long. To last longer, so that it's not breaking every month. Like, I don't know how many Android phones are like just lying somewhere, all fucked up in the middle of some country's landfill. Some other country's landfills that take care of our trash. Like China has like loads of that crap. It's ridiculous, and we go through it like people go through butter, like restaurants go through butter. It's ridiculous. And what always has perplexed me is the fact that the technology isn't built for endurance. It's built for the market.
Well, to be fair, this is my first actual Apple product. Well, technically, I can't say that because I had like 3 iPod Nanos.
Yeah, see,
then I had 2 iPod Classics, and then I had 2 MacBooks. This is my second MacBook, so
I had an Apple Shuffle. I had an Apple, and then a Nano. I had 2 Nanos.
I had 3 fucking Nanos.
2 of them broke. Actually, I had 2 of them broke. I had 3 Nanos. I had 2 of them broke, and then I had 2 iPod Touches as of yet. I have the current iPod Touch that I have is currently sitting in storage somewhere in a cracked screen and a messed up audio jack. But
they're still selling those too.
Huh?
They're still selling iPod Touches.
I know.
Like they're still making them and selling them. Yeah, it's mad cheap because it's like, this is literally just for fun.
Or I can literally get the upgrade and get like what's called the Snooty, which is iTunes backwards apparently. It's the app you could like pull off all the music from your touch, or pull off all the music from your iPod. That way you can put it back on another iPod or another iPod or a new iPod.
That sounds lit. I need that for mine because my iPod's got a little fucking, those fresh seal things, those little white beads that they'll put in they'll put them in a bag and like put them in shoes, like new shoes or something.
Yeah.
One of those was in my backpack when I got my backpack when it was new, and they bust open in my backpack, and by chance one of them got jammed in the iPod, the headphone jack. And it's been in there since like 2014, 2015. Like I haven't actually listened to the iPod. I've had to like plug it up to the USB and use it.
Well,
which I'm not mad about, obviously.
I mean, I think it's just a little styrofoam thing, right?
No, it's like hard plastic. Oh. Like I could get it taken out. I had like an appointment at one point to like go to this like iPod specialist, and they were gonna do it. But
I had like another way of doing it. It was it's.
I've told you about this before.
I think I've told you about this. There is. I think I figured out a remedy because I had this issue with my headphone jack, but now there's like something loosening component.
Well, no, there's literally like a bead. It's like a tiny pearl stuck inside the jack.
What I had like so much lint starting to fuck up the jack.
Yeah.
So what I did was I found a needle and then I somehow picked it out.
I was thinking that. I tried that, and what I tried to do was heat it up first. Because it's plastic.
Right.
But it wasn't hot enough. So I just stopped. I just gave up.
Alright.
I mean, I'll try it again. It's just I'm not mad about it. It's like as long as
I take it to, at this. Yeah, I was like,
yeah, I don't really. At this point, it's like I have my phone, I have an iPad. It's like I'm not worried about my little iPod. You know, it's funny because I actually grabbed it the other night and put it up to this, and it takes up this much of the screen.
It takes like a
the
little
iPod.
square.
Yeah, it takes up a little baby square of this. So
Like a 16th of the iPad.
Yeah, so I was like, that's crazy. Like technology, bro.
How far we've come. Now we got like giant ass screens. We're gonna have holograms soon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have these where they fucking this shoots out like series of fucking actual. You can see her and shit.
We can see like the holograms. Like,
or she's like she whatever you imagine Siri looking like is what she looks like to you. Different person.
We've had Cortana. We have versions of Cortana just popping up and shit.
Yeah, man.
That's funny. So. Cortana. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. It's so crazy. Yeah, we've been talking for like almost an hour.
Yeah, man.
Getting into this.
Yeah. But,
it's been pretty. I feel like this has been a pretty dope experience.
Pretty chill. Pretty cool. Pretty chill. Pretty cool. Pretty chill.
Mean, let me give you your honest opinion. Would you listen to this podcast? Considering like typically that's how it's going to be set up.
I feel like this was obviously just us talking aimlessly, which can be cool. I mean, it probably doesn't sound bad. Listen back to it, but yeah, man. I mean, it's like I said, it's the pilot, bro. You just listen to it and you make some tweaks. You go into the next one a little different, you know. Yeah. I'm the guinea pig. It's all good.
I don't think of you as the guinea pig.
I don't either, but I mean,
in the sense here,
you know,
we're trying to step out. I feel you more on the scientist level. I have particular people I view as guinea pigs.
You got to.
I view you as an equal in that respect.
Well, of course, but you know what I mean.
Like, I know what you're talking. I know what you're trying to get at.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking in my head.
Like if this was my podcast, like obviously you're my equal, but you would be my guinea pig for this episode. like, all right, I'm gonna use my boy Scott. You know, it'll be easier to be chill. That's how I would look at it.
I mean, I'm recording the interviews in bulk, so to be honest, since again this is the pilot episode, so whatever you're going to be hearing later on the podcast, you can always cite back to this fucking.
Right, you listen to this one and be like,
this is where it all started.
Did you ever go with me to Norm's? Did we ever go to Norm's together or no? I don't think so. Huh?
Once.
We went to Norm's? When?
Just
Which
like
one?
Hella once. It was like.
He said hella once. Because I know there was the one I used to go to a lot was the one in West L.A. They closed it a couple years ago. Excuse me. The one off of I want to say not Sepulveda. It would intersect at Sepulveda. It was off of Pico. It was right off of Pico. There was a Norm's off Pico near Sepulveda, and they closed it.
That's right.
Yeah, in West LA. Like heading
That was the one. That was the one.
We went there together?
Yeah.
I know I went there with like Sierra, and I went there with Monique a couple
We definitely went to Norm's.
Okay.
We definitely went to the Norm's. Because I went there later with the group.
That same one? Or the one in like Hollywood or something?
No, it was the one in Hollywood. We went to with a group of comedians.
Okay.
After they did a show.
Yeah, Norm's is chill. They don't really. Well, yeah, they do. There's one out here. There's one like 3-4 miles away from here. Actually, I'm not about to lie. There's one like not far from here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's a Norm's close by. Yeah. I just like I don't know why for some reason when I lived in LA I used to like going there a lot. I was so heated. I wasn't going to the one that they closed, but I was like just driving in the area like Lyft driving or something, or like between the Lyft ride, and I like saw that they closed it. I was like, oh shit. Like it was all fenced up and shit.
Alright, dope.
I wonder if they've reopened it by now.
I feel like they might have
like made it into something else, you know? Like a Denny's now or some shit.
Alright, dope. Alright, so I have a reveal for you.
What's
for
that?
Podcast, since you want to go with the guinea pig.
What's up, yeah?
So, this isn't completely unstructured.
Right.
Because I've always considered the interviews that they'll always be only either short or long span, depending on the time frame and how deep you get into conversations.
Right.
That way, by the end of it, I actually do hit you with some little bit more of insightful questions.
Right.
Try and get you with, helps
to loosen me up.
Well, not just we've already loosened you up.
Yeah, I'm lit. So,
like, we broke out the plans. We got all the stuff. We're still in this. Actually,
yeah, man.
That up. But yeah,
Thought you'd like those. Hi, Scotty.
Hello. Hi. Sorry, we're recording a podcast. Okay.
Word.
All right, we got some visitors.
Yeah.
Cute visitors. All right.
Yeah.
All right. What was I saying? That's right. So, the big reveal. Yeah. So I have a couple of questions that will
Right.
kind of like bridge these gaps. Again, these are this is the part of the spectrum where I guess will be the guinea pig portion. This will be the legit guinea pig portion. I'm like, all right, this is time
Let's
for
get
the.
it. Let's dive into it, Scotty.
All right,
Just dig in. Let's do it.
All right. What are your opinions on the state of this patch of land in between Canada and Mexico? How do you feel about, I guess, okay, let me get real into this. If you had an option to go and get a citizenship somewhere else outside of the country, where would you, if dual citizenship was possible in every country in the world, where would you get your other citizenship from?
I mean, probably Canada. Just
like
because
any other country in the world. It doesn't have to be.
I would probably go to Canada just because it's close. I would go to French Canada because I can speak a little French, and it's still Canada. You know, let's still get all the benefits.
Okay.
You know, like why not just start there? It's close, and then from
You
there.
could actually, you know what? In that sense, in my mind, I could just go live in Vancouver. From
Right.
that logic, I could live in Vancouver.
Like, why not? It's
and
close. It's easy.
Go down to Mexico. Just go up and down the coast to have like road trips. And
I
all
wouldn't
that
want to
jazz.
have. I don't know if I'd want to have dual citizenship in Mexico. I mean, I would want to have it, but like if I had to choose between the two, I'd go with Canada. That's just me. I don't know. And I feel like you can get better weed in Canada, probably.
I mean, yeah. Even Seth Rogen has like the now he's creating the brand of weed. Like he's already been promoting.
Like I'm pretty sure there's good weed in Mexico, but it's historically not known for having good weed. It's known for actually having bad weed.
Yeah.
So like I'd rather just go to Canada and make sure, and I know they have good land to grow good weed on. So
right. So it's like
yeah.
It's like you know what? It's okay. Look, if I was into cocaine, that would.
I think where I said I'd go in Canada and where they grow the good weed in Canada are on different sides, possibly. I think that's. But either way, I'd find my way.
It'd be it's just like
It's
happened.
there. It's
It would
there.
happen.
So I'd make it happen. Yeah.
Make it like, look, we're gonna have to go on a mission here. All right, fine then, let's go.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. The next question. Now, if there was ever something you could have, like, I just creatively, you wanted to guide this because they're rebooting everything in this under the sun. If there was one reboot you think you wish probably people would, you know, if you ever wanted like any movie, TV show, whatever to have a reboot, what would it be?
Any TV show?
TV show, movie, it could be rebooted in any way. If you felt like it should have been rebooted as the movie should be rebooted as a series for streaming or anything like that, or rather something should have been like done as a flat out movie series instead.
Yeah, I was thinking about this one day. I forgot what it was about though.
What's it called?
I don't know. I was watching something recently that I thought would have been better as a TV series. What movie was it?
Maybe describe it. This is where I get to flex my.
I'm trying to remember. I said it while I was watching. I've been watching a lot of different shit lately, actually. But there was some movie I watched. I think it was like an action flick or some shit. I don't know. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, I feel there's definitely stuff. Like I can't pick anything specifically because I can't remember the name of it. I mean, I can sit here and like remember something else, but
Wait, do you have Netflix on your phone?
Netflix? No, I don't have Netflix on my phone. I just watch it on the PlayStation.
Oh no, Netflix on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I watch it. Yeah, I watch it on PlayStation. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, there's a lot of shit that could like.
Okay. Then the second most thing, since you can't name that one, you can't figure out what it's.
Second.
If it wasn't
okay,
that one.
maybe I feel like if they did a Power Rangers TV show how they did that movie a couple years ago, that would be good.
You know what? I watched the movie recently.
I like that movie.
I really did like that movie,
like
but you know what? I do agree.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been great. And
if they do a grown up Power Rangers TV show instead of like the kiddie bullshit fight.
Kind of like how they did the bootleg Power Rangers.
Yeah.
What's the thing from Dawson's Creek?
Yeah. That would be a cool TV show. And they wouldn't even have to go like super violent with it because the movie wasn't that violent.
Yeah, they could just
keep it just like that. Yeah.
What they had was great. That would be a great.
But they would have to keep it movie quality. They couldn't. They would have to do it on Netflix or something. They couldn't do it how they're
Amazon.
Or some kind of streaming service because they couldn't do it on network TV because all those shows. Like, you ever watch Supergirl or Flash? Or,
their effects are trash.
Yeah, their effects are so trash. There's a couple points. I was watching Supergirl, and there's a couple points where she was fighting this monster in Mars, and you can clearly see the distance between the CGI and her strength. Like, the guy was way over there, like 4 feet away, and she was like swinging at air, like, and the guy was getting hit. I was like, oh my god, whoever did this needs to be fucking fired.
There's no like VFX handoff going on like they did. Like it's night and day compared to Man of Steel.
Yeah, that shit was trash. It's like there's no way this is in the same universe. So
it's like no.
Yeah,
now they got a big old crossover where they have what was it?
Earth on alternate Earth.
Crisis on
alternate Earth. Or
on Infinite Earth.
Infinite Earth, yeah. This is like the 5th episode they've done of this. I've watched.
But this one apparently is like pretty big.
It's the one, yeah. But all of them are the one. Like I don't.
No. This one is gonna be the one because they're bringing back I've been reading up.
Well, it's because Arrow's ending.
Yeah, it's not because just Arrow's ending. They're having they're getting Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum.
From
Smallville
for
One Universe. They have Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill.
Yeah,
voicing the animated series.
They gotta reach.
They're going hard.
Because the shows, they're just kind of dragging at this point. Like Supergirl's in its like 4th or 5th season, and it's like whatever now. Flash is like whatever.
Supernatural's ending.
Yeah, well,
they're trying to hype this up.
That's been on forever.
It's been on for 20 years almost.
That shit's been on for fucking ever at this point. Like, that's crazy to think about. That shit came out in like what, 2004, 2003? Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Like,
it's still making new episodes. Like, how are they still writing for that shit? Like,
the age of it somehow outlasted the Razor. The fucking Supernatural outlasted the Razor.
It outlasted a lot of shit. It went through a couple generations of video games. Like, that shit's been around for a while.
Those same two dudes. I've only watched like a handful of episodes, but the same two dudes still. My mother and my sister still watch that.
That's good for them, though. That says a lot about them. Like,
the fans,
they're just down. They're just, those two guys have just this whole time been down to like work on this same show.
They're like,
hey, it's a job. I'm still, and now they're kind of immortalized. Like, obviously that show is in syndication. I think it's been in syndication for like 10 years.
Right. This is their Odd Couple.
It's been in syndication for 10 years. Think about that. Like,
15 years.
You think?
It's been 15 seasons.
Well, no, I mean it's been in syndication.
Oh,
for like 10 years now.
10 years.
But it's been on for 15, so think about that.
It's going to be odd forever. Even after they leave, it's going to be odd forever.
Yeah, it literally is.
It's going to be, like, the world's going to end, half of the planet's going to be flooded, and there's still going to be TVs floating around with fucking Supernatural being broadcast. It's the last network.
It's going to get sold for a lot, too. I feel like whoever sells the rights, when they sell the rights,
I feel like that's going to be the last thing that plays for the apocalypse. We're just going to talk about Supernatural episodes. That's what we're going to come.
Maybe that's the journal to the end of the world. Supernatural episodes. We don't even know it.
Probably. Just got these two guys running around. Their dad's fucking playing. Their dad, the guy who played, was it Jeff? I'm messing his name. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it for this episode. No, I'm not blanking on this one. It's right there.
Too high before the interview.
No, not even close. It was during as well. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I wouldn't have known that. I didn't know that.
He plays Negan on The Walking Dead. He also plays
that guy,
the comedian in Watchmen. He's in the Rampage.
Right, yeah.
That dude. He played their dad in the pilot. They blew and they killed him.
I remember that. Yeah, I watched probably the first 3. No, I don't even want to say that much. I watched probably the first season of that show. maybe some of the.
Yeah, I did as well.
And
Probably the first season.
When I stopped watching it, I never thought that it would still be on when I'm like almost 30. But that shit's crazy. Like, how old are those guys now? You know, like
they haven't aged.
Like,
they don't look like they've aged since they started. Like, this is a show that has been keeping them alive the whole time.
Yeah,
like,
once it ends, they're gonna get old as shit. Like Cap.
Oh God. Oh well, spoilers. Endgame spoilers.
I didn't say anything. Anyway.
Look, at this point, I'm going to be honest. At this point, if you're listening to my podcast, at this very point, if you have not seen Avengers Endgame, you are shit out of luck. Because
there's already spoilers everywhere, low-key.
Like,
they started.
It's on digital! Catch up, motherfuckers!
The world stopped giving a fuck. They're like, alright, it's been out for like 5 months. Here's some spoilers. We're going to talk about it. I started seeing shit. I just finally watched it like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, shit.
Low-key, yeah. Like, I was like, alright, let me watch this before I see a bunch of shit that really spoils it.
I literally
already knew, like, Tony Stark dies. Everybody knows that. Like, it's literally in the fucking, like, you know what I mean? Everybody
I've been
knows
waiting
that.
for it. I was just like, is it gonna happen? They teased it in Infinity War already.
Yeah, I wasn't saying.
Like Thanos just snap.
Yeah.
Oh, he got shit. Tony got fucking, like.
I wasn't sad about it. Like,
I was actually.
Iron Man had his time. He had 10 years.
I actually.
You know how much money he made off that movie?
Okay.
How much fucking money he made off this
Robert
movie
Downey.
alone?
Robert Downey, yeah, he made.
He made like $75 million, didn't he, off the one movie or some shit like that?
Yeah, for
75. Like, yeah, the movie made $2 billion, but he made $75 million of that. That's for one person on that whole production. That's a good fucking chunk.
For the fact that he's been doing it for 10 years.
Like 75.
Let's think about this.
For one movie.
He was contracted for 10 years.
Yeah. But apparently the contract was able to get renegotiated or some shit, right?
Yeah, the contract renegotiated over it was renegotiated over time.
Right, that's why he got like $75 million for this fucking
movie. He's been just building up,
like,
building it up, wearing him down.
Like, he doesn't have to do anything else if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, he's already announcing like environment, like trying to clean up the oceans and do.
Yeah, he could do it, Iron Man.
Real life Iron. He's got all right, like I've been playing Iron Man. It's time to be Iron Man.
Yeah, do it. You got the money. Fuck. Team up with the rest of these guys. Make the real Avengers.
I feel like that would be pretty dope. All right. Now we've gotten hella tangential again with that one.
Right. Sorry. Yeah.
So, as we've discussed, apparently the question was the dual citizenship, and then we talked about the reboot, and we thought, and that's how we got into this whole crazy ass tangential of the Power Rangers, and how Supernatural's on for 15 fucking years, and is just now deciding to end. I want to see those guys in 2 years. I want to see what they look like.
They'll probably be doing something. They'll be doing indies or something.
I know, but I want to see if they get gray.
I want to see if they already have grays. You know, like, come on, like, you know, like, they probably just dye their shit.
My thing is this: I think that they do, but at the same time, I'm also like, some people don't have gray hair and they look the way they do. It does happen eventually, but they all turn gray eventually.
For early to mid 40-year-old white guys, they probably got some grays in there.
Oh yeah, I know a few.
You know what I mean? Just a couple. There's probably a couple grays.
But these guys, like, they're working steadily and they're working well.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, they probably got some grays, bro.
They probably got some grays. It's not as prominent.
It's probably not full gray, but they probably got a couple joints in their beard and shit, because it just happens when you get older.
Just patchy.
I'm pretty sure when I am in my 40s, I will have some grays. Maybe even my 30s. Who knows? We'll see.
I'm not going to lie. I straight up told my mother that I'm just going to look like a Don King that went through Weight Watchers.
Oh, yeah? Nice. Yeah, man.
Just big old fluff of hair, and I got rings and all that. Glasses, like, yeah.
Why not, man?
I'm ready for that. All right. I put those two. And, all right. And one last question I think would be pretty interesting to ask. So where are we at?
We're like over an hour.
Yeah. Hour, 2 minutes.
Hour 3.
All right, let's wrap this. All right. I feel like I've been shooting
that
time.
Obviously, yeah, you can cut that. It's just getting hot in there, so.
Yeah, I know. I feel like it's pretty kind of hot boxing this puppy.
Yeah.
So, all right. Last question. If there is any artist you ever wanted to, or anyone you wanted to collaborate with on a project, who would that be? At least the top 3 people.
Top 3 people, probably Pharrell. Yeah, Pharrell. what's that one chick's name? Halsey.
No.
I would keep Halsey on all the vocals, and she just makes hit songs. She has a really good voice, and she's like gorgeous. So why not?
It shakes out.
Yeah.
It all shakes out. It's right there.
And then last person, I don't know. Last person would probably be like last person. Maybe it's a throw up between toss up between either Rihanna
That's good.
or T-Pain.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Pharrell, Halsey, and then Rihanna or T-Pain. Those are both
Interchangeable.
Yeah, because like T-Pain can like do both sides of things, whereas Rihanna's just Rihanna. You know, like why not get Rihanna in there?
You could. Yeah.
Why not utilize her in every way you can?
It works. You know.
So yeah,
provide your best attributes. Works that out.
and Pharrell's obviously one of the best producers of the last like 3 decades. So.
I have a playlist called Jams. Half of that I used to play for a comedy show, and I bumped that, and half the jams on there were like,
Pharrell.
Yeah, half of them were like featuring Pharrell or have like beats made by the Neptunes or something like that.
Yeah, man, Pharrell's the truth. He's no joke.
Pharrell is like
It's funny. A lot of people didn't really start looking at Pharrell until Happy came out. Like,
right. That was
like,
the weirdest thing.
Like it was a giant song. I get it, but like he's been doing this for so long, guys. Like he's got a lot of
they still have like what his song was featured as far back as 2001. He had the remix of Lap Dance. It was remixed by Paul Oakenfold.
He's got joints since the 90s. He's just been low key.
Yeah, he has been low key. And now they just bring him up because, fucking Minions were involved. Real talk. Once he started composing music for Despicable Me and Minions, that's how the fuck it popped up.
Yeah.
He got the kids.
Yeah.
You got that.
Yeah, Pharrell, man. I would give him that Pharrell. He like makes music with everybody too. Like I'm pretty sure Pharrell would be down to work with me. Like,
you know a fun fact? I don't know if I told you this. Remember that movie we watched a while back that was hella predictable with Tom Cruise, Oblivion?
Mm-hmm.
All futuristic and shit. Had Tom Cruise clones and whatnot. Yeah, I spoiled the movie. It's not that good of a fucking movie, alright?
Yeah, what about it? I remember that one.
Pharrell participated on the drums in one of the sequences. They had a video about it. He was drumming for one of the... when they had the chase sequence with the chick from Quantum of Solace, Olga Kurylenko.
Oh, yeah.
And Tom Cruise like flying through in the future bubble ship. And they had the drones running around shooting them and shit. The drums in that particular track for that score, because it was M83 who did the score.
Alright.
Joseph Trapanese.
Oh, okay.
He and Pharrell, they had like it was just a bunch of drums. They were just a drum set, so just all banging on that stuff.
Okay.
And it was in.
Makes sense. Yeah, Pharrell's a drummer.
So I'm like, Pharrell participated in the movie score for a fucking Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah, for no reason. Like,
None.
He definitely didn't have to do that. Like, that's why he's so
just
lit.
rolled up in there.
Yeah,
and just
he was
like,
probably literally. He was probably just on the lot. He was just on the lot. Like happened to come in.
I bet he was working.
Yeah. Rachel's her dad has ended up walking in on. Like he used to be a studio hand, and because he's a musician, so he was like at this studio. I forgot which studio it was, but back in the 90s. And apparently Tom Cruise walked in, and he's a smaller guy, and so he had like a bunch of guys around him that were like bigger and stuff, and like he was being like a dick.
He was like my height.
Yeah, he was like being a dick, I guess, and her dad hates him. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's probably what happened. Pharrell probably just ended up walking in because he works on the movie sets, obviously.
Oh yeah,
works on movie scores, so
yeah. I mean,
he was probably on the studio a lot, and like walking.
This was like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, they were scoring the movie, and he was like, "Oh, I can do this. Let me."
The guys were like, "Oh, you guys are good." Like, they do like a big old drum solo and stuff like that.
He's like, "Yeah, can I try it out?
Boom.
Can I try it out?" Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Just like.
I wonder if his credit is in the movie. Does he have credits in the credits at the end?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't checked. I haven't watched the movie in the hot minute.
That's a good fact. Shout out to Pharrell.
Real talk.
I made a whole mixtape about Pharrell, by the way.
Yeah, you did. What's it called?
Pharrell tape.
The Pharrell tape.
It's on Bandcamp.
All right, dope. All right.
I'm gonna put out part 2 at some point.
All right, lit. All right, so I'm gonna give us another minute and a half.
All right.
Let the people, let the lovely listeners out there of the experiment know where they can find you on social media.
I'm on Twitter and Instagram at _Majorino, Majorino, and then I'm on SoundCloud and YouTube, both Majorino. Anywhere you can find Majorino, you can find me.
No Instagram though yet. That's not back yet.
Oh yeah, my Instagram is actually down for the moment, but follow me on Twitter, and then when you follow me on Twitter, you'll see my Instagram later. All that good stuff.
All right, for sure. Well, thanks. Hey, thanks for allowing me to do this. I feel like this is gonna be the beginning of a really. It's gonna get wild.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be lit, man. And I'll have to get on another episode at some point when everything's a little more sophisticated.
Yes, yes. When
have more fun.
Yes, having a nice little scene, having actual scenery.
Yeah, because we're in a closet right now.
Yeah, we're in a closet.
It's a big closet, but it's a closet nonetheless.
We're sitting in a closet. We'll go from sitting in a closet to sitting in like nice little place, a nice little studio. As like
right. I mean, this is chill, but yeah.
It could be.
Goals.
We could go get better. We can do this.
Bigger, yeah. For sure, yeah, man. No, definitely appreciate you having me on, and hopefully it all goes well in the future with everybody else. Smoke weed with other people too.
I mean, it all depends on the guest. If the guest feels comfortable doing that, I'm not going to say no to partaking in that. I feel like that's
next show. We'll smoke a blunt though. We have to.
Okay. And you know I'm not a very big fan of the blunts.
But I know.
But for your purposes, since you're the guest.
Yeah, next time. You just gotta hit it once. I'll smoke it mostly.
I figured.
I'm just out of wraps right now, so yeah.
Yes. All right. This has been the rapper and weed connoisseur Majorino. Thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
Word.
Thanks again to Majorino for the interview. You can check out his music on Spotify, iTunes, and SoundCloud, among others. We're going to have him back for a future episode, so stick around and keep your ears out for that. But speaking of future episodes, next time on The Experiment, from the Two Hoosiers in L.A. podcast, we'll have Michelle and Tiffany. We're going to talk the origin story, how I became a technical advisor, and we're going to get really weird, raw, honest, and a bit dirty. But coming up next, it's the Odd Man's Rant. Stick around. Hello, and welcome back to The Experiment. Once again, I am your host, Scott Ranieri, and we've reached a portion of the show called The Odd Man's Rant. I'm not going to mince words with you. To be frank, this is the part of the show where I monetize the thing my friends know me for most, ranting. Little backstory, or mini backstory, rather. Whenever I talk about a subject, it is with apparently such venomous and very aggressive tone and language that it seems almost passionate and like I have a blood feud with these people. I mean, I have a little bit of a beef with a certain fast food joint. I will not name names until the appropriate time. But it's not all of them. It's just in the specific region, and most of my friends already know what that is. These are things that I've ranted to people about. I'm basically going to use this and try to make some money off of it. I'm not going to mince words about that. This is the first episode. I've been basically sitting here and editing, getting people together. I've been producing this thing. I haven't produced in a while. It's been rough. It's crazy because I went to film school. As you've heard in the interview with Majorino, I went to film school, and I studied digital cinema and video production. I went there for a bachelor's. Decided to drop out for associates. I decided to leave just with an associates because it was getting ridiculous to a point where I was bleeding money, and my family was bleeding money supporting this. And then I chilled back. Then I chilled there for maybe a few months, and then went back and got my bachelor's. And then I chilled in L.A. And then afterwards, I got back into the school, got the bachelor's, went to slacked and also limped and pulled my way through just to get out of there. Ridiculous. But long story short, throughout that entire time, and if not long ago, even back in the days when I've just hopping back and forth across this country, I have ranted and complained and this is my way of just going to do this in a much more tasteful and, I guess, I want to say, classier manner. So today we're going to talk about what I'd like to call That Doesn't Go There. Or why whenever you watch a movie that's set and shot in Los Angeles, it's not really at the place you know it is. And what I mean is this. In the recent Marvel film that came out last year, Captain Marvel, Brie Larson's character crash lands through a blockbuster. That's I've already suspended my disbelief at this point. This is the movie before Endgame. I no longer, at this point, it's everything is essential. It's basically considered essential to watch because I don't know where anything's going to go. And now I'm going to devote my life to Disney Plus. Ugh. I have an entire separate Odd Man's Rant for that one and all of media monopolization, but I will save that for the next episode. But it's because what we're talking about here is a moment, a chase sequence rather, between Captain Marvel, or the future Captain Marvel at this point, because she still thinks she's Kree, and I can't remember the other name she went by except for Carol Danvers. That's it. I'm having a hard time trying to remember that because that's I paid attention. I have a photographic memory, but if I'm not enjoying the movie like I do if it's a Star Wars film or something like that, or of the levels of Endgame, I'm not going to remember everything about it. It's just I'm going to have to rewatch it to get that part back. But oh, Vares. Wow, I just remembered that. Okay, that was dumb. All right, apologies for that, everybody. Yeah, you just went through my whole loop of a brain fart. Okay, so Vares, as she was called in that particular instance, was hunting down a Skrull, shapeshifter thing, and they end up in a chase sequence between a Skrull and young D.H. Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury behind them. They pass through the Redondo Beach station. They pass through the Douglas station on the Green Line, and then they somehow transform into the Blue Line and go underground. I say this because next thing I see is something that resembles Pico Station, which is off of Pico and Flower Street in downtown Los Angeles. The convention center's right there, for God's sakes. I mean, okay. Here we go. I'm going to be very clear about this. Look, the Green Line does not go underground. The Green Line does not go underground. I don't know who decided to say this or do this a shortened time, but the trip you've just described would have taken 30 minutes. An hour? I know this. So I wrote the damn things. For years. As a kid. No. No. Stop, please. Don't do this to yourself. You're embarrassing yourself. What I mean is, look, you gotta do better. Sorry. I'm recording this from my undisclosed location, and a fan is making a very weird sound. I don't want to shut it off because if I had to shut off the air conditioning in order to record this, and I am somewhere in the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles County, this puppy gets up to 97, if not 3-digit levels of hot. So, circulation is vital, especially if I'm gonna get cooked in here alive, or I'm trying to avoid getting cooked in here alive, rather. All right, so. Back to the rant. As I was saying, Captain Marvel did that. I was fine with the rest of the movie. As I sit and remember it now, yeah, I actually was pretty fine with it. It was a good movie. It got me to tear up a bit. My only problem is the fact that okay, and this is my only grief with it, and I feel like this would have changed the whole movie. I don't know if anyone knows how to. I don't know if anyone, but like a handful of people know how to direct Brie Larson. And it's not that I don't think Brie Larson isn't a great actress. She has accolades. I've seen her. What I'm saying is, I feel like they made her too alien, like too cold that she can't emote, because she can emote. Anyone who's watched her in Scott Pilgrim, The United States of Terror, Room, Free Fire, come on, the 21 Jump Street, I can keep going. That's all I'm saying. She can do the thing. You just need to get her to. Goddamn. I'm sorry. It's just that was the big thing that annoyed me, because that would have solved so much. And the thing is that I don't think that was entire. That I do not blame that particular issue. And I feel like that's what the whole like this is social justice warrior, all that. Look. When it comes to Marvel, I leave the bullshit at the door. Not to get crude, but I really do. I leave that. I go in to sit down and I watch a movie. I don't care. I know what I'm in for. I paid for this ticket. I don't want to think about what exists outside those theater doors for at least from 90 minutes to 3 hours, depending when I'm in there to watch. If I'm at a film festival, great. I actually do care about what's outside of those doors because it just means more fun for me. Look, to roll back from the tangent, the point is, the biggest problem I have with that movie is the fact that it lies about LA geography. And you know what? It's not the first movie to do this. I was just watching the other day the movie SWAT from 2003. And yes, it is that movie SWAT with Samuel L. Jackson, Colin Farrell, LL Cool J, and Michelle Rodriguez, among others, including, yes, another Avenger himself, good old Hawkeye. And he and Jeremy Renner and Colin Farrell's characters used to be partners. They were down. I gotta be honest, rewatching the film, it's a really great film. I actually do. It's fun. It's good. It's actually got some tense. It's a solid action film. It's a solid crime thriller. Like, I'm not even gonna lie about that. It's pretty good. Let me adjust this. Here we go. It's solid. But here's the thing. What I'm trying to figure out is, at the towards the end, there's for anyone who hasn't seen it, I'm gonna try and say this in a way that doesn't spoil the film. There is a portrayal of sorts. This is a crime drama, so of course stuff happens. I'm not gonna say but then this portrayal turns into a chase into the subway. The chase takes place in downtown Los Angeles between the stations, between the two metro stations. That is 7th Metro Station and 7th and Pershing Square Station. And then you go into the stations. This is the problem. The outside matches up for the most part. But then you start going into the stations and stuff is getting weird. For the matter of fact, LL Cool J runs down into a station that looks like that, in my brain, translates to 7th and Metro Center. Right there off of Hope Street and 7th Street itself. There's a little staircase that goes down. There's a Dunkin' Donuts in there now, or Dunkin', wherever the hell they call themselves. And then there's a little section there for that donut shop. And then you go down the stairs. And then the subway's on your left. And you follow the tunnel, it goes into the subway. And now the mall, which also has the first Alamo movie theater in Los Angeles, and I should have. After recording this podcast, I will make efforts to go visit again, again, and actually see a movie and do things. Rolling back from that tangent, in SWAT, they're apparently stopping the train between 7th Metro and Pershing Square. They're trying to stop the train when it approaches Pershing Square. The problem is that somehow there's a sign above LL Cool J runs down, that where the Dunkin' Donut sign is typically. There's a sign that says Pershing Square Station, and that's in the 7th Metro Station. And then when they go into the station, and then when they go downstairs into the station itself, it's actually there is a bit of a betrayal. It also happens in an SUV. Don't mean to get all confusing. So there's one happening on what looks like to be 7th and Hope, and then down the street is at 7th and Flower, and then they go downstairs. They're both at the same metro station. Here's the thing: they're acting like they're both at separate metro stations, because they're at the 7th and Flower metro station. Because I used to go up there when I used to live closer to USC, and I grabbed some place out of a now defunct and absorbed convenience store that sold some of my favorite drinks that sound very dirty, and it's very awesome. It was also very bad for me, but still, we all have our vices. Look, what I'm saying is, they both shot at the exact same station, and then they cut to interiors of 2 different stations in Koreatown. Wilshire Normandy and Wilshire and Western. They couldn't cover up the walls. Like, come on, people. I'm sorry for the weird accent here. Come on, people. We can do better than this. Like, seriously. Okay. Yeah, we can do better than this. Sorry, I chug a water here. Look, I don't understand it. I really don't. Like, you do all this, you put up all this money, and then you fail that hard with production design. Like something. But then again, this was back in 2004. We don't have the computer technology we do now where we could just add people in costumes. Talking again about Avengers. Those white suits aren't real. They're all wearing their original costumes, and just as time traveling back, they just added the costumes, and it looks cool. Just made it look a little bit more Avenger-y. Otherwise, we'd be watching Avengers does Back to the Future. Ugh. We'll talk about that. That's going to be another thing we're going to have to talk about then. Oh, crap. Okay. We're just going to need a whole episode for Avengers. But maybe I'll save that for my friends. Look. What I'm saying is, I'm sorry I'm getting super tangential here, but the big point of this is, why shell out the money if you're just going to double Koreatown for Downtown L.A.? That don't make any damn sense to me. Bumblebee is the biggest offender of anything in California. It makes everything seem like it's super close to each other. And look, I'm willing to be down with this movie because it's the best version of at least as close to a live action or a computer or really defined rendering of the first gen Transformers on Cybertron that we are going to get. And you know what? I'm down with this. This is about the softest we can get, and we're getting it from the guy who started Leica Animation that makes films like Paranorman and is it Coraline? Possibly Coraline as well. And look, it's a lot. I'm talking about a lot here. I'm being serious. But again, they also fudged all types of things around it to make it look more scenic. Like they're miles apart. I saw a map of this. It's ridiculous. They're like 15 miles apart. They get there in like 5 minutes. Derp. I don't understand. I just don't. All right, let's pull back the accent here. So look. To be fair, though, at the same time this movie was shooting, 2 other films that also came out that same year, that were also crime dramas, were all filming in downtown Los Angeles. The other two being The Italian Job, starring Mark Wahlberg, Charlize Theron, and Ed Norton, and Donald Sutherland, among others. They had a lovely little sequence when they had Mini Coopers drive in and out of the. Okay, they messed that one up hard, in and out of a tunnel, coming from the downtown 7th and Metro station that I've been talking about for the last I don't know how long. Well, this is almost 20 minutes going into this. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. I can't. The other movie is Hollywood Homicide, starring Harrison Ford and Josh Hartnett from 40 Days and 40 Nights and 30 Days of Night. He's very odd movie. He has a very odd movie career, but he was also in Penny Dreadful, and he was really good in that. All right, the short end of the thing. Look, movies are shot here constantly. TV shows are shot here constantly. People are trying to bring back a better tax. People have, if I haven't already, brought back tax incentives for California to have more film productions here and television productions and anything productions here. It needs it. It runs off of it. It was bred for it. We fostered this thing. So to be fair, it's understandable that it's going to look a little bit wonky in that area. Still a solid film. And it's also one of the few films that has now demolished and currently reconstructing the 6th Street Bridge. The 6th Street Bridge is iconic for the fact that it's been featured in several films. And pretty much every film that's been featured or set in Los Angeles involves a scene where a car is on that bridge. 9 times out of 10, there's a car on that 6th Street Bridge. In this sequence, I'm not even going to spoil it for you, but it's some real Grand Theft Auto level, insanity. Then I will put it to you this way: the producer of this film is Neil H. Moritz. Neil H. Moritz runs Original Film Productions. Original Film. The guy is also the producer of the Fast and Furious series. So let's close that book real quick. It's not as ridiculous. This is 03 after all, but let's not. You got to have something wild in there for effect. Oh, wow. Okay. So we're coming up on 20 minutes here. And look, I get it. I've shot stuff there before. Look, I was watching the movie Bulletproof with Adam Sandler and Damon Wayans from '96. It's a pretty good movie. There's a couple wonky bits in there, but it's actually pretty funny. Early, Adam Sandler and early Damon Wayans point in their career. Yeah. Let me rephrase that. It's a great film at the time when the two of them were just about to hit the peak. We're just about to start getting their prime, striding in their prime. I mean, they're still in there, but it's like, wow, it's pretty good. The premise is that I feel like I don't even want to spoil it. It's just a good look. It's a good comedy movie. It's a crime. It's also it's a crime comedy movie that's a bit of a crime drama at times. It's more of a dramedy in some aspects. It's pretty neat. It's a very interesting, strange movie. But also, it had a moment where it doubled the Glendale Metrolink station for Pasadena. I've been to both. I shot the thing that got me to graduate from art school at that station. I know exactly where that is. I know its angles. I organized people to shoot this thing, man. Look, I get it, but still, it's less work for the production designer. You can make it, add more fun stuff to the actual set, make it look a bit more weird, and make it look more like it's not completely LA, like it's an off-kilter version of itself. Get funky with it. Come on. But I get it. Money is time. You got to do some things to kind of fudge stuff around and work for the story. But sometimes you can work things in the service of the story and put less stress on your production team. That way you can put it into other things that would make the story look even better. I guess I'm putting my producer cap on and trying to reorganize things to say you could have shot it in another way or shot it in this particular sense. You want to do the film where it's to the point where you can't logistically. You want to be able to have no one put plot holes in your film. You want to try and fill up as many plot holes as possible and not have any moments where people can take themselves out of the movie, even if they're professionals. That's what I'm trying to get at. But I guess I'm just a person trying to strive for perfection. I don't know. I'm crazy like that. But look, we are now at 22 minutes and 40 seconds as I have timed myself here. So this is what's going to happen now. For the next 3 minutes, at least until about what? Yeah, we're going to hit about 25 minutes. I'll stop this at 25 minutes. And yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'll stop this at 25 minutes. I know I'm repeating myself like a damn parrot, but look, this is the first go around. I am extremely new to this. And you'll know this when I release the interview with the hosts of Two Hoosiers in L.A. that, trust me, I've seen other people do it, and I'm still like, look, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm reorganizing crap. I'm trying to get everyone to be on everything. I'm like, I'm just going all over the place. I'm going nuts. I don't really sleep, so I can really do this on a regular basis. It's insane. But to get back on schedule, what I mean is, this is a very new thing for me, so I'm just trying to wade the waters and see what happens, see what sticks out, and hopefully has some bills attached to it. I got bills, man. All right, look. So, to wrap things up here. Long story short, I get it. But it still takes me out of the movie. It's possible, just, I guess it just depends on where you want to put your efforts. But maybe I'm just being nitpicky. Love it, hate it, I don't know. So this ends the Odd Man's Rant. Next time, well, I'll give you You know what? It's just I won't set anything up for next time, so you can just find out for the episode. Let's go over some things I might want to talk about. So, yeah. What we're going to do is probably talk about some other stuff. Yeah, come on. Turn the page. Here we go. I'm going old school here. So next time we might talk about media monopolization, human understanding. Over the time, we're just going to get real into things. Shooting in Koreatown for Downtown L.A. We just nailed that. So blam. All right. So I got 5 seconds left. So yeah, that's it. Wait. Hold up. That's right. I was timing myself for the rant. I ended the rant earlier. All right then. Well, the recording still has 30 seconds left before it's 25, so I'll do it that way. So here we go. Last thing. We're going to do some more of this. This might be a little bit more refined. I might invite somebody on this one with me. I might not. Just keep going like this, like it's a director's commentary for some ridiculous movie. I don't know. We'll get weird with it. But this has been the Odd Man's Rant. And I hope you enjoyed this. Somehow. Oh, God. And with that, the experiment has come to a close. The theme music was produced by Hotia, that's Hotia, and you can follow him on Instagram at Hotia_official. You can also follow the show on Instagram at the.experiment.is.live. It'll have links to my photography and comedy accounts, so it'll be the best way to stay up to date with both the show and my artistic doings. You can also follow me on Twitter at Mark_Scott and on Facebook at Mark Scott Ranieri. That's RAIN as in November, ERI. Once again, this has been The Experiment, and I'm Scott Ranieri. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.